It's tea time with the Pronoun, the fastest moving golf show on the planet. Get the latest in local and national golf news with guests from around the world and around Central New York. Now it's tea time with the Pronoun, sponsored by CH Insurance on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on iHeartRadio.
Good morning, Central New York. This is Joe Convertino Jr. with Tea Time with the Pronoun. Happy New Year. And yes, I believe you can say Happy New Year pretty much through all of January. Can you believe it's mid-January? And guess what? The PGA Tour started this week. The Sony Open. And our own Kevin Roy is in the top 5. Just awesome. And we wish him the best this weekend. Hey, I got a question. Where in the world is Tea Time with the Pronoun? Perry, are you out there? Mr. Noun.
Hey, the Pronoun is on the road at the PGA Club in Port St. Lucie, Florida, young man.
Oh, my God. I'm in the studio in the freezing weather, and you're down in Florida.
Yes. And guess what? I'm in the boardroom, Joey. I'm in the boardroom. I have all of the presidents of the past presidents of the PGA of America sitting right around me. I was going to do the show out in the lobby, but we've got our first guest coming up, do we not?
I guess we do, but I see all those photos behind you.
Does
they
Tyler
look
have
like
the first
legendary.
guest?
Is the first guest? Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll call her.
Why don't you tell our listeners what in the world you're doing in Florida for the next few days?
I'm going to be here at the PGA Club. I've been coming down here this is at PGA Village. By the way, you know who else is here? Tom Gorman is here. Trey Lucie is here. Jeff Reeder is here. Joe Lanza is here. They're all here. This is where they come to winter. By the way, how does this look here? How does this look where I am sitting?
You look great. You look great. But you better be buying them dinners, Perry. You going to buy Tom Gorman dinner like you do every year?
Wait a minute. Last year I went down here. I was going to buy him and his significant other dinner, and they ended up buying for 8 people.
Oh, that a boy.
I paid the bill for all 8.
But Perry, also let the listeners know what's next week. What near and dear to your heart every year.
This will be the 25th year. Actually, I went when I was the executive director of the Northeastern New York. I went to the PGA show. However, this year will be my 25th consecutive, except for COVID, in Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center. 1 million square feet, 100% golf products. If you walk down the aisles, every aisle that's there to see every booth, it's 10 miles. Think about that for a second.
Make sure you have a little goodie bag so you can bring back some trinkets and little golf memorabilia for me, okay?
No, I'm going to bring you. We're going to see Joe Gomes at Titleist and get a little interview with him. I'm going to bring you 6 dozen Titleist golf balls.
That's awesome.
All right.
Do we have our guest? All right, tea time. I guess we're having our first guest. We're waiting on.
I can introduce her.
Okay.
Do we have Holly Taylor on? Yet? Is Holly on? Joe.
We are trying.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Because I'm here. Look you know whose photograph is on the wall? Susie Whaley. I'm looking right at her.
Wow. So we have a little Central New York connection.
Yes, a
love it.
Central New York connection. In fact, if you want me to, I can flip around the screen and I'll show you her photograph right up on the wall. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I'm going to flip this around, Joe. Can you see Susie Whaley over there?
Oh, yeah. Legendary
Can you
wall
see
of
her?
fame. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Why don't tell us a little bit about the place you're at this morning? You know, the golf course, the club. They're obviously giving you first class hospitality.
They are, Joe. This is where I am. I'm right here. I'm right here in the boardroom, and I got every single president that has ever been elected to the PGA of America right here in this room. Their photograph is here. This is really cool. But they have 3 courses. One of them is a Pete Dye course, and the other 2 are Tom Fazio courses. I played yesterday on one of the Tom Fazio courses, but this is without a doubt the best, the absolute best facility golf destination that I've ever been to in terms of total amenities. They have a wonderful par 3 where you can walk around there with a sand wedge, Joe. They have 3 humongous practice greens. They have a beautiful chipping area with bunkers and 3 small greens that you can chip to, plus the 3 great courses and the locker rooms. Everything here is absolutely first class. The food is out of this world. It's absolutely gourmet kind of stuff. And Holly Taylor, we still don't have Holly Taylor on the line.
We're missing a phone number. We'll have to put her on hold. But we'll get her. We'll hopefully get her in the next hour or the next segment.
No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get her in the next segment. I'm going to call Trey and tell him that we had a little issue. Wait a minute. You mean that her number is not on the document?
Not on the sheet. Not on the sheet, my friend. It's okay. Okay. You didn't give me that homework. Hey, before we go to break, what do you think about Kevin Roy?
Well, I found out the odds. I went to DraftKings Sportsbook, right? And we've got Ben Griffin 5-1, Nick Taylor 6-1, Russell Henley 8-1, Maverick McNeely 20-1, Kevin Roy 20-1. He's on the board. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you, I watched a little last night because it's awesome watching golf in Hawaii. You want to know why? 6 hours behind, Perry. It's still live golf for us at 9 o'clock.
I know. Joe, listen, let's go to break right now. I'm going to go to break right now, and then we'll be, folks, we'll be right back with our next guest, hopefully Holly Taylor, News Radio 570, WSYR.
Good morning. Hello, Perry from
Hey, how you doing,
Florida.
Joey? Yes,
good,
sir.
Buddy.
Port St. Lucie, Florida.
You got Florida. You know what's nice about Florida with that weather? And I know our next guest is going to love it. You're going to be able to watch the Bills game today in an outdoor sports bar.
Yes.
Enjoying a couple beers, some great food, and camaraderie with whoever's the golfer down there watching our Bills.
No, Joey, who's our guest?
Well, I know our guest will be watching that. It's Mr. Trey Lucie.
Hey, Trey.
Guys.
Hey, Trey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm up in Lakeland, Florida right now.
Oh, I know Lakeland. Hey, Joe, listen to this. I'm in a gas station 2 nights ago, and I see this guy talking on the phone, and his voice is carrying all over he's going up and down the aisles trying to buy some snacky foods. And he says, I said, you can't buy that. I'm hiding. I ducked. I said, you can't buy that. I said, that's no good for you. And he's looking around trying to find me. Trey was in the same gas station, Joe.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Trey, and he had his suit and tie on, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He had like a sweatsuit on. I'd never seen him not in a suit and tie before. He had a hoodie on. I didn't even know. I thought he was a homeless guy.
Right. But Trey, I know you guys are busy down there, but will you make time for the Bills game at 4:30?
My whole life is revolved around the Syracuse and Bills game today. So
Perfect. So there's no golf this afternoon, gentlemen.
no, I've been here 14 days and I've played golf 11 times. So
I mean, Trey,
All
Trey,
right.
are you in the insurance business? Come on.
no,
11
I
out of
am, I'm in
14
the golf
days?
business. If I was in the insurance business, I'd be down here full time with all the money I'd have.
That's
Trey.
awesome.
Hey Trey,
Yeah.
on DraftKings Sportsbook, Kevin Roy is 20-1. He's on the board. He's on the leaderboard. Wow, how cool is that?
It's really cool. Kevin, I'm good friends with the family, with Jimmy and Cheryl and all the Roys, and great people. And I'm so happy for Kevin. And last time I played with Kevin, I think he was at Long Beach State. We were playing the Central New York Open at Seven Oaks, and he hit driver 7-iron on the 18th hole. And I said, okay, this kid's got something.
Driver 7-iron. I hit driver 5-wood wedge.
Yeah, driver 7-iron. He flew it to the middle of the green.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, but you know what? Better than just a good golfer. They're good people. Kevin's a great person. I look forward to going to see him. I go to the Honda every year, whatever they call it now, down in West Palm. I watch him play. And, if he has a good year, maybe he'll make the elevated Bay Hill, which I'll be up watching Bay Hill this
That'll
year,
be
too,
awesome.
so.
That'll be awesome. Trey, talk to the listeners a little bit. Next week is your big Super Bowl.
Yep, we got our PGA show. Matter of fact, for me, it starts on Monday. I have sales meetings all day Monday, all day Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is our big merchandise show. Over 1 million square feet of golf. The building's 1 mile end to end. And if you love golf, then it is the place to be. Every manufacturer, every item, everything you could ever think about will be there. And unfortunately, I'll be stuck in my Under Armour and Black Clover booths working, but it's great to see everybody, and it's a great.
Well,
place to
don't
network
worry,
and see
Perry
folks.
will be there. Probably bringing back some samples. Bringing
Yeah,
back
well,
some samples.
Perry always grabs a couple samples, and I wish I had.
I've never taken a sample from you there. But I tell you what, we are going to do. I'm coming over to take a video of you, Trey. We're going to do a little video at Under Armour.
I don't do anything for free, Perry. Send it
I love it.
to my attorney, my attorney to check over the contract and make sure I get his space pay.
That's funny. All right, Trey.
Yeah.
Here's the next question. Brooks Koepka, the man leaves live. He's back in America.
I you know what? I love that he did that. I don't know if the penalty was severe. As Perry knows, and maybe I am not a live guy. I do not like live. I don't like what they stood for, and I just, as much as I want Brooks back, I don't know if the penalty is good enough, but, if the PGA Tour is happy, I know some of the players aren't happy with how he got back on. I think it only can help the PGA Tour, and I think it's the first domino to fall with Liv. I know that those other guys are going to play out this season, but you'll see a couple more defects next year, and I think Liv will just end up being like the minor league of golf or something someday.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that'll happen, but guess what? Brooks Koepka put a huge crack in the wall that has existed, and water is starting to seep through. Trey, I saw Tiger Woods at that press conference, and he was absolutely professional. He was happy that Brooks was back on the PGA Tour. Never said anything about the penalties. Never said anything about the other players. He was absolutely a gentleman about it. And you know that Brooks wouldn't do this unless he wanted to get back to the tour. But I'm not so sure that the PGA Tour put a deadline on the other players on Live to try to come back on board. I don't think they should have done that, Trey, because it means that they've got some pride as well, and they do have that ego we have to deal with. But I wish that they just let it alone instead of if somebody wants to come on, just give us a call instead of putting some kind of a deadline on it. If you don't do that before such and such a date, you won't be able to do it. Baloney, they're going to take him next year anyway. And then I saw
I think there was just a deadline. There was a deadline to play this year.
Yes.
That'll all change. It's all going to change. And those guys,
yes.
They all went to Live too. Obviously, they all went for the money. They can all say what they want. They want to be with their family more. They want to be with their family more. They only played like 2 tournaments in the United States. They're in like Bangladesh, and they're like in crazy places playing golf, which is great for golf. But don't say they're not away from their families, because they're way away from their families.
You guys are talking about the penalty. Well, it's not enough. What's the right penalty? I mean, what, $5 million isn't enough? No one knows
Brooks
the number.
Got $150 million and he won 70, so he had $220 million of Live money. $5 million is not even,
It's all
not
tax.
that much.
It's all tax, Trey.
Yeah, all tax. It all goes to pay for insurance. Let's not even go there with my insurance rates going sky high, and you going to Florida for every vacation.
What a way to set that up. Well, you got to have me look at it, my friend.
Yeah. I've been begging you to look
Give it to
it.
Perry Noun. He'll take care of it.
Town. You're always out playing golf somewhere.
Yeah, who's in the studio today? Who's in the studio? And the two of you are in the sunshine.
And I ain't coming home to the middle of March, so.
Yeah, but listen, one more thing before you go, Trey. I also saw the press conference by the Live players. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was happy. They were trying to put on a good show, but when they were going around, you could just tell they were asking the reporters were asking them what their opinions were. And they gave the standard look that, we're going to stay here, especially Rahm. Rahm was really disappointed about Brooks leaving. He said, well, I have a contract. He says, I got to keep my contract. But there'll be some more defections. We just have to wait. How much time you got, Joey?
We got about 30 seconds, but you know what? Contracts are good, Perry and Trey. We need contracts in college football and college basketball. That's a whole nother subject.
Yes, it is.
We could have a whole show about that.
So, Trey, thank you, my friend. Keep Perry in good shape and health next week. He's going to be following you around like a hawk, and have a great weekend, and go Bills, my friend.
Yes, go
All
Bills,
right, guys.
go Bills.
Go Bills, go Syracuse. Talk to you later.
Okay, there he goes, Trey Lucie. Folks, stay with us. We're coming right back. News Radio 570 WSYR. All right, good morning. Tea time with the pronoun. The pronouns in Port St. Lucie. Joey is in Syracuse. Trey is in Lakeland, Florida. What else? And then Dr. Holly Noun is in Rhode Island. Our next guest, Dr. Holly Noun. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
All right.
Hello. I am in the hot seat at the studio, Doctor, and Dad is in sunny Florida. Something is wrong here.
Yeah, the big time wrong.
How could he leave his family?
Hey, all right, listen, Joe, you didn't know this. Last week, Dr. Holly Noun was a guest. Jack Conger was in studio with me, and they started to talk. Dr. Noun started to talk about balance. Joe was talking about, Jack Conger was talking about club head speed and throwing that club out there, and we got talking about balance. And Jack was nodding. The two of them were like Mutt and Jeff talking about the golf swing and balance. So to follow up on how important balance is, Dr. Noun says, what about the shoes? I says, bingo.
The feet, the shoes.
The feet and the shoes. Dr. Holly Noun, the floor is yours.
Well, I thought the best way, especially because the at the end of our conversation, Jack had brought up being fit at one of the local sneaker stores. And it dawned on me, it's so important what you have on your feet. Remember last week when we were talking with Jack, we talked about where you get your power from the golf swing. And it comes from the ground reaction force that goes from your foot into the ground, and then your foot takes it from the ground and puts it into the rest of your body. And that is where the power comes from. So imagine how important it is to have something on your feet that actually accentuates that connection between your foot and the ground. Folks, I'm going to tell you, and this is actually true of all shoes, none more important than the golf shoe. They're not for show. You can't tell what golf shoe you can wear by looking at it on the shelf. You have to take it off the shelf, put it on your feet, grab a club, and try swinging in the environment in which you're going to be playing. And that means either on turf, indoors, or take it outside and have a go at it. Because there's a couple of important pieces with golf shoes that are really should be your focus when you're thinking about them. And it has, like I said, nothing to do with what they look like. First and foremost, stability and the ability to transfer that power from the ground. So that means that they can't be just slip-on shoes without some form of stability. Most of the time, having laces is the best way to create stability in the shoe. There are some other formats that shoe companies have tried, so you can certainly try them. But the key is you want to have stability in your heel and your forefoot. So you want to feel like you can swing and you're not slipping in the shoe. The other piece, which is kind of interesting to talk about because it has changed over time, is the traction on the bottom of the shoe. They used to be the metal spikes, and then they transferred to more plastic spikes, like those spider-looking spikes. And now they even have golf shoes that have more of the nubs, almost like a trail running shoe. And it doesn't matter what you're going to use. You certainly want to use the ones that your club allows you to use on the golf course. And from there, you want to choose the ones that are going to feel most comfortable for you and your swing, because not all of us generate the torque that you could generate, Dad, or even you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to match the shoe so that you're optimizing your comfort, because 18 holes takes, 4 hours on the golf course is a long time. So it's very important that they're comfortable, because that will help prevent additional fatigue. But you also need to make sure that you can have a sense, you have a feel of the contact between your foot and the ground. And that is a challenging thing to create. There's a lot of research and development that goes into golf shoes. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of that, but don't look at them on the shelf.
Right.
Yes, some of them
And
look really great.
Perry and Doctor, great point. Balance is important. I mean, if you think of your dad or, all the shoes we have, not only for business, but for golf, I come home, Linda's like, oh my God, another golf shoe. Right. I mean, you with the climate up here, it's wet, it's cold, you get the bad golf shoe. I swear to God, I feel it mentally because it's a wet shoe and it's heavy. But when it's a nice day, especially in Florida, those golf sneaks I tend to wear more. It's a light shoe. It feels featherweight, and you probably psychologically feel better with that, Perry. I don't know how you are. I mean, I don't spend $200 on a golf shoe, but what type of golf shoe do you like? Do you change with conditions?
Of course you have to change, but let me tell you something. It doesn't make any difference whether it's golf or football, baseball, basketball, field hockey, doesn't make any difference. When you get a pair of shoes, Dr. Noun is right. You can't buy that thing that feels almost perfect. If you buy a shoe and you lace it up and you say, oh man, this is perfect, you better be careful, because over time, when you start using that interaction with the ground, it's going to loosen up. You got to buy a shoe to fit you that is almost just a tad little tight to give it a chance to expand. And today's shoes are much more pliable than they used to, with that hard leather that they used to make those shoes out of. I remember walking around with those iron spikes. I mean, you could buy a pair of shoes and you wouldn't get a lot of movement in them over time. But today's shoes are more pliable, are they not, Dr. Noun?
They absolutely are, and you can have that feeling like Joe's talking about, the lighter shoe, the new technology in the materials that they use allow them to be lighter. And of course, that's going to decrease the fatigue even more. And what you're talking about, the pliability, the comfort on the upper of the shoe, the part that goes around your foot, can be more comfortable. But that's the trick. You want to also maintain the stability because of the rotation in the golf swing, because your foot just can't be slipping around. Case in point, there's only one person in the world that I know that can play golf and have his feet slip, and you know who he is.
Who? Perry
Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Great analogy.
Yes.
So he better have flexibility. Hey, Perry, speaking of flexibility, in your heyday, right? Baseball. Did you think of that with your spikes? And
absolutely.
Did you talk a little? So you're even going back 40 years, you thought that.
Well, I worked at a sporting goods shop when I was in grad school in Ithaca. And I was fitting kids, but I learned in baseball, if you buy a shoe and it feels comfortable, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're running, it's moving. That leather is moving around. And so I said, you got to buy it just a little bit tight and then give it a chance to expand. And yes, of course. Listen, hey, Doc, this has been wonderful talking about balance and your feet and Jack's comments last week. It was almost like you guys should write a book on balance. That's what we should do. Just put you and Jack on.
That'll be a chapter. The Art of Balance.
Yes, the art of balance.
I like it.
And by the way, Dr. Noun, Joe has a real fine golf swing. And he does have balance. The only issue with amateurs, as myself as well, is we try to swing too hard, too fast. It's okay to swing fast, but as Jack Conger said last week, after you hit the ball, your club should be swinging faster after you hit the ball than before. That's
right. And Perry, I think I told you, we got a few minutes. I did go to Jack Tuesday night and did the folds of honor, made a donation, Perry, made a personal donation. So
right.
Jack's happy, but we for about 40 minutes and I had some other issues, but we went to that fast swing and it was interesting. It was after the swing and I did get 3 miles an hour, he told me.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. And I thought I was, I'm just fast in general, but when they say downswings fast, it's after the impact that you got to just take it. And it worked. I just got to practice.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Doctor.
Doctor is important. Sure.
Yeah. Doctor, this has been wonderful. We've before you leave, I want to tell you that I don't know whether I introduced you to him at the show. We've got Adam Schupak on, who wrote a wonderful article about Brooks Koepka leaving Live Golf and coming back on the tour, and he's going to be our next guest in the next segment. But we want to thank you for coming on and following up with golf shoes. They are so important. And sandal shoes are a bunch of junk. How can you have any balance with sandals?
Perry, you wear sandals on the beach.
Baloney, I don't wear sandals. Dr. Noun, thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Holly, before you leave.
For the show.
All right, Holly, before you leave, Bills or Patriots? Who are? I know you're
Patriot.
Connecticut area. You better be pulling for the Bills, Doctor.
I love the Bills, but it is pulling at my heartstrings to be cheering not for the Patriots.
No, that's right. She's going Patriots, Joe. Okay, Doc, we'll talk to you later.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. This is News Radio 570 WSYR. All right, there's Joe punching it away. I can't hear the music. I got to punch this way. Welcome back to Tea Time with the Pronoun. Wow, Joey's in the studio in Syracuse. The Pronouns in Port St. Lucie, Florida at the PGA Club. It's been a wonderful time down here. I've been coming down here for the last 5 or 6 years. Holly Taylor, I'm going to call Holly Taylor next week because we had some technical problems. But on the line with us right now is someone who is, I got to say, he's an upstater. I know that because he's a very fine golfer. Joe, you don't know that he played for Colgate University golf.
He's got to be good then. Seven Oaks eats me alive.
Yes, well, he's carried that desire to exceed and succeed on the in his writings because he is now one of the very fine golf writers in the country. Golf Week, he wrote a recent article about Brooks Koepka leaving LIV, and on the line with us is Adam Schupak. Good morning, Adam.
Hello.
Hey,
Thanks
good
for that
morning.
Kind welcome to the show. It's good to be here.
Yeah, good. Okay, so tell Joe and myself what clicked in your head. You said to yourself, you got to write this about Brooks, and give us your whole thought process, and then give us some of your conclusions.
Well, the news came a little earlier than we expected. You knew he had left LIV, and he wanted. It was pretty evident he wanted to return. We've been hearing it for months. I wrote a piece last year. I don't remember what month it was, but it was pretty early in the year, maybe March. Fred Couples was saying that he was hearing that Brooks Koepka wanted to leave LIV, and so he made that decision. He still had a year left on his contract, so that's pretty telling that he didn't want to be there. And he knew he was going to want to play some more. They said he was leaving because he wanted to spend more time with his family. There's a lot of travel, international travel involved with playing on LIV right now. They only have to play 14 times, but I think the 54 holes and Brooks never felt like he was really wed to LIV. I think he made that move because he was dealing with some injuries, and they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And so he wanted to come back, and he made the pitch to the PGA Tour. I guess they brought him in, I think it was only like a week ago, to the headquarters to talk and meet with the new CEO, Brian Rolapp. And within a matter of days, Brian Rolapp got everybody on the board. They've been thinking about this. They knew it was coming, so it wasn't like they knew somebody was going to eventually want to do this and come back to the PGA Tour, because a lot of the contracts are starting to expire from guys that jumped to LIV originally. And Brooks Koepka said, yeah, I'm going to go along with this. And there's a lot involved, but to some it feels like a bit of just a slap on the wrist. So he is not eligible for the FedEx bonus money this year. He's making a $5 million donation to charity, and he cannot earn any of the equity for 5 years. And the PGA Tour, how they came up with this number, they're not really telling, but they're saying that could be a loss of $50 to $85 million potentially, given how he plays in the coming 5 years. So he's not just walking back in. Oh, and this is pretty critical too. He cannot get sponsor exemptions into the signature event. So if he's going to keep his card, he's eligible because, for the next couple of years, because he won the PGA Championship in 2023, but he's going to have to play his way into the big events that he wants to play. He'd rather play Pebble and Riviera, but he's going to have to go to the Farmers and Phoenix, which he's won twice. So he has ways to get back to being the Brooks Koepka that he was and playing all the big events, but he's going to have to earn it. I at least like that was part of it. So, he's going to bring value having Brooks Koepka back on the PGA Tour. And we'll see what sort of welcome he gets. He's teeing it up in just 2 weeks now at the Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm sure you saw the press conference by Tiger and some of his teammates. And Tiger was very gracious. He's happy. He's welcoming Brooks, obviously, with open arms. But that press conference with those live players with Rahm, there was nobody smiling in that thing. That was just plain disappointment, because Brooks is a big crack in that ice.
Yeah, and I left out one detail. So this is a bit of a Brooks Koepka rule, but it also applies only, there's 3 other players that have the option in the coming weeks to follow and make the same move, and that's Cameron Smith, because he has won both the Players and the British Open. You've got Bryson DeChambeau for winning a U.S. Open, and then you've got Jon Rahm, who won the Masters a couple of years ago. Those 3 guys have won a major or Players Championship since LIV happened, and they're very specific of making the year 2022, because if they had made it 2021, then Phil Mickelson would have been coming back, and I'm not sure the tour's welcoming him back with open arms. I don't know if Tiger's thrilled to have Phil back after the way Phil really is, the integral guy who got the LIV Tour going and has been pretty outspoken about how he feels about the PGA Tour these days.
Well, that's going to be an interesting subject, but it'll create some buzz in the PGA Tour. We like buzz. We definitely like buzz. Hey, Adam.
Funny to write about.
Adam, before we let you go, talk a little bit about next week. I believe you're visiting down in Orlando. I think Perry said you and your dad. Talk a little bit about your week next week.
Yeah, the PGA show is one of the highlights of the early part of the calendar. It's like you're a kid in the candy store. Everything with the slightest attachment to golf under the sun is under one roof. Shopping all with all their everything, trying to create as much business for the new year. A lot of it's already been booked, but it's also a great opportunity to see people. But you got all the equipment companies, Callaway and Titleist and everything down to the pretzels that you buy at the halfway house, and the snacks, the golf carts and the tees and anything with
all the new gadgets, new gadgets. It's going to be awesome. And I'm sure you're going to get an interview from Mr. Perry Noun. Don't forget him.
Listen, this time, Adam. Hey, Adam, listen, this time I've got a videographer coming with me. So we're going to get it on film. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay, listen. We
got to run. Adam,
yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend and go Bills.
All right, let's go.
Okay. All right, there he goes. Adam Shupek. Hey, what is it, Joey?
Tea time. I just want to say thank you for letting me kick the show off. I was a little nervous today.
That's okay. That's okay. You did fine. Kyla was there today.
Well, listen, you have a great weekend, my friend, okay?
Yeah.
Have fun next week. I'll be texting and calling you.
Yes, yeah.
Okay?
We'll be talking every day.
All
yes,
right.
okay.
Enjoy the sunshine. Central New York. Have a great weekend.
News Radio 570 WSYR.